Just a little quick one. Quick live stream. Got nothing better to do, so I thought I'd fire one up and talk some boxing with you guys. Nothing too long, but yeah, man, just sitting here chilling. Maybe talk about the weekend's fights, something like that. You know how it is. Just got really done catching up with the weekend's fights, and yeah, there's some good action this weekend. Some good action. Couple of decent fights on that Matchroom card. Fights that I was interested in anyway. So, yeah, a bit of water. Anyway, bloody hell, hell of a weekend, man. Yeah, I've only just really recently caught up with the fights, so been one of those ones, man. Yeah, big up to Unrivaled. Thank you very much. I'm actually like 2 or 3 away from 3K, but it still shows as 3K for some reason. But yeah, we're nearly there. We're nearly there, man. Boxing Virus, big up to you, man. Big up to Boxing Virus. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully both of you are doing well. Anyway, man. Jesus. Hang on, I've opened... let me get rid of that. Yo, Levi Khan, big up to Levi. Big up to Levi. Live and direct, you know, man. You know, I'm absolutely fucking knackered. I feel tired all the time at the minute, to be honest. During this whole fucking COVID nonsense, my sleep patterns have been all over the place, to be honest. They really have. But it is what it is, man. We'll soldier on, talk some boxing. Bloody, bloody, blah. Cavanide, big up to you, sir. John Gonzalez, big up to John. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're all doing well. Hopefully none of you have caught this this fake virus. You're keeping in good health. You know how it is. Yeah, big up to El Nazarino. Big up to you. Salute, brother. Always nice to hear some boxing talk while driving home to work in traffic. Yeah, man. No doubt. No doubt. Man, like so-and-so is my favourite British slang. Yeah, exactly. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. So what did you guys make of the weekend's fights? What did you make of the weekend's fights? I enjoyed the main event, Ted Cheeseman versus Sam Eggington. It was what it was. I think we expected it to be a bit of a tear-up. You know, domestic level guys, not much defense. That was always going to be a good fight. I'll be honest, I felt Ted Cheeseman would have won that fight a bit more decisively. But I expected him to win just in a bit better fashion, to be honest. I'll be honest, I actually think that's the best Sam Eggington's ever boxed. He actually boxed pretty well in stages. He actually was throwing some feints, trying to use the jab, moving his head. He still got hit a ton, don't get me wrong. He was still making loads of mistakes. But that's really the first time I've actually seen him attempt to box kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I thought that was quite a good fight for what it was. Fabio Wardley on the undercard looked pretty useful, you know. There's a couple of bits on that card. A couple of bits. Yes, Levi Khan, Arsenio Byfeld back in action tomorrow in Russia against Ismail Ilayev. Yep. Ismail Ilayev, yeah. Yeah, good shout, Unrivaled. Yep. Gwyn versus Tennyson. That's a good little fight. Tennyson can crack at domestic level, no doubt. I think that Patera fight for the European title, that makes a lot of sense right now. I think that's a good fight for him. He's a good little fighter, Tennyson, at a certain level. He's a good fighter. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cheeseman versus Eggington, solid. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It was what it was, man. It was one of those fights, you know, domestic level fight, bit of a tear-up. It was what it was, man. It was what it was. I couldn't watch it at the time because I was otherwise engaged, but I've got caught up today. I've watched the fights. So, yeah. Is the guy Byfield is fighting any good? Does Arsenio have a chance to win? The guy he's fighting, Ismail Ilayev, he was a good amateur. In the pros, his best win is Sergei Rabchenko, former European champion. So he's okay. I think that's a good fight for Arsenio Byfield, to be honest. It's a good fight for him. If he wins that fight, maybe he can get back into the domestic scene and, you know, mix it up with the likes of Anthony Fowler, for example. You know? Andre, big up to Andre. Who do you think wins the rematch between Farmer and Diaz? I've got to be honest, Andre. Based on that first fight, I think Tevin Farmer would do very well to make the adjustments to win. I've got to favour Jojo Diaz based on that first fight. You know, Tevin Farmer, yeah, he can move, yeah, he's slick, but he's got a habit of trading in the pocket. And for me, in the pocket, his defense really isn't that good. He gets hit a fair bit, and he doesn't have the artillery to fire back and hurt his opponents. So the guy sits in the pocket far too much for me. You know, even in the John O'Carroll fight, he got the better of John O'Carroll, but John O'Carroll can't punch. If John O'Carroll could punch a bit, he would have been in serious trouble. And we saw that against Jojo Diaz. So I'm going to go with Diaz again, but first fight was pretty fun, actually. It wasn't a bad fight. It wasn't a bad fight at all. Yo, big up to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, a.k.a. D. Jefferson. What's going on, man? Hopefully you're doing well, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. Tevin Farmer's in it for the money now. He made more cash than he's ever dreamed of in North Philly. Yeah, Tevin Farmer's become a multi-millionaire. If you look at his purses on DAZN, he's made a lot of money. Fair play to him. Because at the start of Tevin Farmer's career, he was something like 7-4. He was going down journeyman status, but he turned it around. He became a world champion. I don't think he wasn't an elite world champion, but listen, the guy made something of his career when nobody expected him to. So you've got to give the guy credit. And he is a decent fighter. He's not a bad fighter. Yo, big up to Unrivaled. Pacquiao versus GGG. Who have you got? Come on now. Listen, Pacquiao would get seriously hurt. Seriously hurt. I heard that debate you guys were having on Beats' channel, and I've got to say, man, listen, could Pacquiao be competitive? Well, define competitive. Brook was quote-unquote competitive with Golovkin, and he got years taken off his career. Look what happened. Pacquiao would get seriously hurt in that fight. Seriously hurt. Yeah, he could land a few combinations with that speed, but he's going to take a fucking beating. He's going to get beat down and stopped and broken. Trust me. Trust me. How do you think Angelo Leo matches up with Akhmadaliev? I think that'll be a fun fight, Andre, to be honest. Angelo Leo is a bit wild at times when he throws his shots. Akhmadaliev can get a bit wild as well. But Akhmadaliev's the guy with the power. I think he's more explosive, better amateur background, and all around a better fighter, in my opinion. I would take Akhmadaliev in a fun fight. I'll be honest with you, Andre. I don't think Angelo Leo is going to beat Stephen Fulton. I think Fulton's going to beat him. I quite rate Fulton, actually. Good prospect, in my opinion. Good prospect. And Nazareno, any excitement about the Mike Tyson-Roy Jones exhibition match and thoughts on the undercard like Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson? I've got to be honest, as for Jake Paul, Nate Robinson, I don't really know enough about those guys. But yeah, I mean, the main event, Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, I'll watch it, you know, based out of curiosity, I guess. I'll watch it. But yeah, I'm not really like super stoked, I guess, but I'd watch it. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Big up, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Do you think Jamel and Jamal win or lose? I think Jamel Charlo's going to win. I really like Jamel Charlo, as you guys know. I think he's got dog in him. And I think in a street fight, I think he knocks out Rosario. And in a boxing match, I think he outboxes Rosario. I just think Jamel Charlo's a better fighter. So Jamel beats Rosario. Jamal Charlo's for one I'm kind of concerned about because Jamal's not a great inside fighter. The only danger Jamal brings on the inside is that uppercut. Apart from that, he's quite ineffective. You know, he needs to keep Derevyanchenko on the outside and he needs to try and land that long, straight right-hand power shot. Up close, he could get outworked. I'm really undecided on Jamal Charlo, to be honest with you. But Jamel wins. Jamel definitely wins. Yeah, big up to Tone with the super chat. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much, Tone. One of the long-time supporters. Big up to Tone. Yo, official scorecard boxing science. What's going on, man? Hopefully you're doing well. I see Apology in there as well, man. Big up to Apology. Yeah, Dalton Smith, big knockout this weekend. Yeah, he looks pretty decent, Levi. He looks pretty decent. I like Dalton Smith from what I've seen. He looks pretty solid. I think the best prospect in the UK nobody's talking about right now actually is a guy called Dennis McCann. Very interesting prospect. He's been getting comparisons to Prince Nassim Hamed. He's got that swagger. He's got power. He's got speed. You know, he's got that something about him. Looks like he could be a star. He's another one of those traveller boxers, but he looks very good. He looks very good, in my opinion. Yes, yeah, D man. I really like Jamel Charlo. I think Jamel Charlo sometimes gets bundled in with Jamal. A lot of people have like problems with Jamal's resume, and they throw Jamel in with that same argument. But I think Jamel's resume is pretty tight. Not saying it's like a murderer's row or super amazing, but it's solid. It's solid. I like Jamel Charlo. And by the way, that fight with Tony Harrison last year, that rematch, that was one of the most underrated fights last year. Jamel Charlo, Tony Harrison too. That's a great fight. That's a hell of a fight, man. Really good fight. Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Nathan. Dalton Smith definitely looks like a good prospect. Match him right, get him the right fights at the right time. You could have a talent there. Boxing Virus, he's got Rosario and Derevianchenko getting the wins. Jesus, man. Going for the upsets. Well, I don't think the Derevianchenko would be an upset personally, but I'd be surprised if Rosario wins. I really will. I'd be surprised. I'd be shocked, actually. Dave Allen versus David Howe 3 coming up next. Yeah, more than likely, Levi Khan. Apparently, Dave Allen could be on that Dillian White Povetkin undercard against who? Who the fuck knows? But according to reports, Martin Bakole versus Sergey Kuzmin is now off. So who knows? Maybe Dave Allen gets chucked in there against Bakole and gets more brain cells beaten in. Who knows? Could happen. Could happen. When in doubt, throw Dave Allen on a pay-per-view. That's what Eddie Hearn's like. If a pay-per-view card loses a fight, just chuck Dave Allen on there against fucking Luis Ortiz. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I think Dalton is a traveller, 22B. I think Dalton Smith's a traveller, yeah. Travellers make good boxers, man, no doubt about it. They've got that innate desire to fight, you know. I wish Billy Joe Saunders would show that innate desire to fight, but most of these travellers do. Yeah, Nathan, yeah. Tennyson versus Linares, Hearn wants, I reckon he should fight Patera. Yeah, I agree. I think Patera for the European title, perfect fight for James Tennyson. Linares, first of all, Linares is fighting Javier Fortuna, so he's out of action right now. But I still think that fight is too big of a step up right now for James Tennyson. Go through the levels, fight at European level next. That's Patera. If you beat Patera, then fight a fringe world level guy. That's how it works, in my opinion. Just, keep stepping up as you win. But yeah, 100%. Breakdown on Linares versus Fortuna. That will be in a video, Andre. I'll make a prediction video for that fight. I think that fight's coming up quite soon, I believe, sometime in August. So I need to get on that. I've done Alvarez versus Smith, but I need to do that fight still. Thanks for reminding me, actually. Yeah. Levi Khan, Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. To be honest, I could see a Garcia left hook KO. I wouldn't be shocked, Levi. I wouldn't be shocked. I think that fight's pretty much a 50-50, to be honest. Ryan Garcia's got the potential. He's got the youth. He's fresher. But Luke Campbell, he's got the experience, Olympic gold medalist, southpaw, good technical boxer. It's going to be a hard fight for both guys. I'd be shocked if either guy wins that with ease. Yo, big up to St. Brit Sports. Yeah. Kuzmin versus Bakole is now off. Yep. Eddie Hearn I saw this on Unrivaled's Twitter feed. He retweeted something where Eddie Hearn said he's still looking for Martin Bakole's opponent, which indicates that Kuzmin's pulled out. So, listen, that pay-per-view card right now, that White Povetkin card, is looking a whole lot weaker. I'll be honest, I'm not really interested in Katie Taylor. So, for me, that fight's got one fight on it. Actually, two, Luther Clay versus Chris Congo, but that's not really enough for me, to be honest. For a pay-per-view card, that's not enough. Just my opinion, though. Yeah, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Yeah, I agree. I thought that first Matchroom card back was pretty decent, to be honest. Not the highest level fights, but they were fairly competitive, fairly fun to watch. Some good knockouts. Yeah, man, decent. Oh, really? I never knew that, Levi. Tony Harrison's dad plus trainer just died recently. Rest in peace. Yeah, man, rest in peace. Rest in peace, man. Oh, yeah. Apology, man. Del, you must love women's boxing, you bigot. 100%. I need to start faking that I like it. If you ever see me doing fucking prediction videos for fucking Katie Taylor, you know I've sold out. If I ever do that, unsubscribe and just never fucking watch my videos again. Honestly. Yeah, big up to L Dog, man. He says Luke Campbell's going to outbox Ryan Garcia in his opinion. I think he wins with relative ease, to be honest. There we go, man. There we go. Interesting. Dave Allen, fuck's sake, St. Brit. Dave Allen is going to end up vegetable playing tea parties with Gerald McClellan. Jesus Christ. Hellboy, would you date a girl who's a fighter? Probably, I would. I've messed with girls who was at my old boxing gym when I was like 18, 19. It's not really the same though, is it? I guess. What do you, Jay's Boxing Universe, what do you remember about Juan Pablo Hernandez? Good technical boxer, respectable power, questionable chin, but he was quite good to watch. A good technician. But he didn't have the best chin at cruiserweight, so going up to heavyweight, 6 years out of a ring, I think he's going to get starched, to be honest. I think he's going to get starched. Jay's Boxing Universe. But he was a good cruiserweight. Del, what I found interesting was our 2 community pages and the difference in our followers. It'd help if I could fucking read, wouldn't it? How do you mean unrivaled? Cristiano, big up to you, man. Women's boxing requires 2-ounce gloves. Yeah, pretty much, man. Pretty much. Nathan, did you see John Pegg's interview? Spoke about bias of Sky commentary. He made some valid points, in my opinion. Macklin is terrible. Yeah, we've all said this about Sky. It's not a secret now. People in the trade are saying it. John Pegg, respectable trainer. He knows what he hears, man. It's Sky are terrible. Sky are terrible. They really are. In terms of commentary, they're pretty bad. And Matthew Macklin, listen, some fighters, obviously they were fighters, but it doesn't necessarily mean they have the ability to break down a fight, put it into words. That's what a good commentator should do. Like a Paulie Malignaggi, he can break down a fight and talk about the finer details. Not all fighters can do that. Matthew Macklin can't do that. Carl Froch can't do that. Tony Bellew can't do that. Paul Smith can't do that. None of these guys can do that on Sky. You've got no real analysts on the panel at Sky, in my opinion. They're all cheerleaders. It's jobs for the boys kind of thing, with like the old matchroom fighters coming into commentary and basically cheerleading matchroom fighters. That's what it's all about, really. And for me, yeah, not for me, man. I'm not interested in the whole fucking Sky gig. It's nonsense, man. They need to really shake it up, in my opinion. Yeah, big up to G-Man. I'll have a look on Rival, by the way. I'll have a look. Big up to G-Man. Why can't you have an option just to turn off commentary? Good shout, Apology. I would do that, I would do that. Especially with Sky and BT, to be honest. I don't think BT's commentary is exactly great. Yeah, Macklin does repeat himself a lot. One fight he did it. What fight was it? It was fairly recent. I forgot what fight it was, but it was so obvious and so apparent it got on my nerves. It might have been Prograis. Was he on Prograis Taylor? I forget what it was, but yeah, you're right. Cavanaid, who do you think the worst world champion of all time is? Jesus Christ, that's a hard one. I mean, Charles Martin is in with a shout, I guess. One of the worst heavyweight champions. I'm going to just say Charles Martin. Oh, dear. Yeah. Listening to Matthew Macklin call Yafai versus Gonzalez made me want to cut my nuts off. Yeah, the guy's terrible, unrivaled. The guy's terrible. Me and you could do a better job than Matthew Macklin, in all honesty. Me and you could do a better job. Yeah, legs are shaky, Adam. That was kind of funny, though, actually. That was kind of funny. Apology, man. He's going with Tevin Farmer for the worst world champion. That's a bit harsh, man. I think Tevin wasn't a strong world champion by any means. And I wasn't surprised when he lost to Jojo, but I wouldn't say he's like the worst world champion of all time or anything like that. I wouldn't go that far. Yeah, G-Man, yeah. Jim Watt and Glenn McCrory on Sky. That was a pretty good team they were. They called it how it was. Didn't always agree with them, but at least you knew that was their opinion. With Sky, you don't get that sense. Like, what is Johnny Nelson's real opinion? Is it what he's spouting? To me, it just sounds like him towing the company line. You can't possibly believe that Tony Bellew's a better technician than Alexander Usyk. You can't possibly believe that, surely. Do you know what I mean? I just don't trust these guys with what they say, whether it's their opinion or whether it's just the Sky narrative. But there we go. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, Blue Collar. Do you think Bob is going to fork over the dough and make Teofimo versus Lomachenko fight happen? I'd like to think so, D. I'd like to think so. I'm staying pretty quiet right now. I'm not going to fly off the handle and talk shit just yet. I'm going to give him more time, and we'll see what happens. But I'm trying to remain optimistic. I'm going to try and will it into existence. You know, I'm going to try and will it into existence. Hopefully, it happens. It's not officially off yet. We have to remember that. So you never know, man. Stranger things have happened. There we go. Ralph, big up to Ralph Della Vicia. What do you think about Spence being doubted by the media? I think it's only natural, to be honest, Ralph, with what's gone on. You know, he's been out of a ring for a long time. The car crash, you know, the alcohol abuse, allegedly. So he's gone through a lot in the last 12 months or so, and he's not seen action in the ring. So who knows, man? Who knows how he's going to look when he comes back? But what I will say is this. If Errol Spence Jr. is a shot fighter or severely depleted because of his car crash, Danny Garcia will find him out. We're going to find out everything we need to know about Spence when he fights Danny Garcia. We're going to find out everything we need to know. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he's still the same fighter, because I think he's a great addition to the welterweight division. Hopefully he's the same, but you never know. We shall see. Worst world champion ever is Vladimir Holdberg. Interesting. I'm going to have to Google that name, Unrivaled. I'm going to have to Google that name, you know. Interesting. See, that's why Unrivaled's here, man. That's why Unrivaled's here. Apologies going back to Yafai. He's saying Yafai's the worst world champion. John Gonzalez, he says Bermain Stavern. Yeah, Stavern wasn't great, John. Stavern wasn't great at all. Fat tub of lard, basically, wasn't he? Yeah, I saw that, Nathan. Yeah, David Hay comparing Denzel Bentley to Howard Eastman. I don't see the comparison, Nathan. Howard Eastman was a much tidier boxer, in my opinion. Denzel Bentley's a bit of a swinger. He can punch a bit, but he's a bit of a swinger, isn't he? Older Denzel. Old Denzel. Yeah, Friday's card does look weak, Nathan. I'm not even going to watch it, mate. I'm not going to watch it. Paul 123, Shannon Courtney to lose, then retire. One can hope, Paul. One can hope. One can hope. Exactly, as St. Britt said. Yeah, hopefully, Paul. Yep, I agree. I agree. Yeah, I like Spence, Dragon Leg. I've always liked Errol Spence. He's my favourite welterweight right now, not including Pacquiao. I never include Pacquiao in these discussions because, you know, the guy's just a legend in the sport, and I can't really hold these guys up to his standard. But in terms of the other welterweights, Errol Spence is definitely my favourite in terms of style. You know, in terms of that, I really enjoy his style. I love the body work. You know, I love the combinations. He can get rough and ready. I like Errol Spence a lot. He's a good fighter. G-Man, yeah. Shannon Courtney is just eye candy with an annoying voice. Yep. I'll be honest, G-Man. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think she even looks that great, to be honest. I don't think she even looks that great. Nathan, how did you score Cheeseman versus Eggington? Got to be honest, Nathan, didn't score it. I just watched it this evening and just really enjoyed it, kind of thing. But yeah. Damn, apology, man. He doesn't like Errol Spence. He's saying he hates Spence, so overrated. Garcia should beat him with ease. I don't know, man. If Spence is at his normal self, I think he'll beat Garcia. I think he'll beat Garcia. Exactly, 22B, yeah. She looks like a high-class chav. Yeah, she looks like that girl, like she's on every estate in the UK, do you know what I mean? Like, you see her down the club and, like, she's gettable, she's pullable. Like, if you pulled her, it's a decent night, do you know what I'm saying? And then you wake up the next morning when her fucking makeup's stuck to the bed, and then you realise what a fucking trout she is. Do you know what I'm saying? One of those ones. We've all been there. Yeah, big up to the Quags, by the way. I didn't see you in there. Didn't see you in there. Big up to the Quags. Yeah, apologies, put it well. Shannon is not eye candy, painfully average. Yep. Yeah, man, SSB, facts. Facts. Sexually deprived simps on the internet. Like too many of them are out here. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Ebony Bridges has an army of simps on Twitter. Yeah, I've seen that shit. I've seen that shit. She's got some nice old titties, but meh. Don't need to fucking lose your mind over them. Do you know what I'm saying? But there we go. There we go. What can we say? What can we say? Titties make a man go crazy. Yeah, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Errol Spence's chin is the only question. If Spence's chin is solid, he beats Danny hands down. Danny's lost his step. Danny's lost his step-up fights at this weight. True. But I will say, listen, he's lost those fights, and in my opinion, he did lose both fights. But he was competitive in both. Nobody's really had an easy time with Danny Garcia at welterweight. So even if like Errol Spence is at his very best, I still think Danny Garcia is going to have his moments. To be honest, Errol's not exactly hard to hit. He's a bit flat-footed. You know, if you punch with Errol Spence, you can land shots, and Danny Garcia does punch with you. He punches with you. You know, look at some of his knockouts. The Khan knockout, for example. He'll definitely tag Spence up. He'll have moments. Trust me. Trust me. Is that Shannon Do the bodybuilder? Bro, she might as well be, man. She might as well be. Paul123, ever remember watching a particular fight where you just burst out laughing at how farcical it was? Yeah. There was a fucking Shannon Courtenay fight, Paul123. She was fighting like some Romanian flipping nail technician, and it was awful. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Jesus Christ. L-Dog Danny Garcia is really 38-0 undefeated if you score the factual rounds. Yes, sir. Facts. Savannah is decent looking natural. Do you mean Savannah Marshall by any chance? I'm not a fan, 22B. There's very few female boxers I find genuinely attractive. I'll be honest. Very few. Yeah, Michaela Mayer's okay. She ain't too bad. Nathan. I've certainly done worse. So I'm not going to sit here and talk shit. I've done a lot worse. Yeah, exactly, SSB 28. If Danny Garcia wins, DSFG will never shut up about it. Yep, facts. Who wins, Inoue or Akhmadaliev at 122? Jesus Christ, Jay's Boxing Universe. That's a hell of a fight to think about. Do you know what? I'm going to reserve judgment on Inoue at 122 until I see him at that weight. I'm going to reserve judgment, but skill for skill, I think Inoue is a lot better, to be honest, and I love Akhmadaliev. Skill for skill, Inoue is better, but, you know, eventually weight becomes a problem. Is that the fight where it happens? I mean, if I had to bet, I'd say no. I'd probably take Inoue late stoppage. But, you know, Akhmadaliev to me is a very good fighter, so not really sure on that one. AA Boxing and Blunts. Terry Harper better give Jonas a beating or I'll be disappointed. Oh, Unrivaled, he's going there. He's saying Inoue beats everybody at 118, 122 and 126. Fight me. Jesus. He may do, man. He may very well do. Yeah, big up to you, D, man. And by the way, lads, if you've not checked out Speak Your Mind Sports Talk, check out his channel. He streams very regularly. Really good content. Big up to D Jefferson. Big up, man. Oh, apology, man. Del, Shannon Courtenay or Jenny Sushi? I'll go with Shannon, to be honest. You know, Shannon is like riding a bike. You know, you've done all those. Shannon's like riding a bike. She's the sort you've done before on more than one occasion. You know what you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Jenny Suchet, you could have all sorts of surprises, you know? So I'm going to go with Shannon Courtney. Not much in it, though. Oh, dear. Yep, Gary Russell Jr. Yep, he's a crazy dude, no doubt, man. Talking absolute nonsense. Talking absolute nonsense. Reality is, though, with Gary Russell Jr., that's the only way he can get people talking about him. Talking about a little street fight from like 10 years ago. That's the only way people actually talk about Gary Russell. He doesn't fight. You know, he doesn't fight great competition. He's not unified. What's there to talk about? And I like Gary Russell Jr. as a fighter. I think he's very good. I really do. I think he would beat Josh Warrington. I really do. I think he's a very good fighter, but it's all well and good me saying that. He's not proven it. And he doesn't fucking fight. So yeah, Gary Russell Jr., man, needs to fucking retire or actually fight. I mean, he needs to make the decision. I'm tired of Gary Russell, to be honest with you. I'm tired of it. Barry Hearn, reckon he nonced with Epstein. Very possible. It's possible, Paul123. It's possible. I mean, he was in that black book. Again, I'm saying it's possible. I'm not saying he did. It's all alleged, you know? Legal disclaimer. There we go. 22B. Shannon has one meaty backer pouch. Yeah, I bet it looks like a mangled kebab. You know what I mean? It looks like a fucking mangled kebab. Jesus Christ. Oh, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Gary Russell needs to smile more. Facts. Yeah, 100% Tone. 100%. I like Gary, man, but yeah, he's just not doing it right now, man. He's not doing it. When that guy was coming up, I remember watching this guy fight on, like, I think it might have been like Showbox cards or something like that. And I was so impressed, man. I was convinced this guy was going to be a pound-for-pound level fighter when he got to the big fights. But obviously that didn't happen. Here we are, one fight a year for like the last 5 years. Just not good enough, really. Not good enough. Man like blue collar, so it is. Big up to Jim McDonald, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're doing well. But G-Man Boxing, get Shannon the drink on me, Del. Thank you very much, man. Big up to G-Man Boxing. And by the way, lads, if you've not checked out G-Man Boxing, he himself has a YouTube channel. Check him out. Good content, regular uploader. Does a bit of live streaming here and there as well. Really good uploader, man. Big up to G-Man Boxing. And also Unrivaled Boxing Talk and News. He's got a channel as well. But I'm sure you guys know Unrivaled. Joe Jackson, I think Warrington beats Russell. Certainly possible, Joe, with you know, based on like pure work rate and things like that. But in terms of like pure natural talent, hand speed, and boxing ability, I do think Gary Russell is better. I would favour Gary Russell, but I wouldn't. I don't feel super strongly on that, but I would favour him. Jay's Boxing Universe, Lebedev versus Povetkin, who wins? I would say Povetkin, to be honest. I know Povetkin struggled with Marco Huck, but I think that was Huck's style. You know, he's a guy who pushes forwards, fights in bursts, gets up close, makes it uncomfortable. He had that style to trouble Povetkin. Lebedev, I'm not so sure. Either Quags, he's on my boat. He would take Russell over Warrington. Gary Russell Jr. versus Gabby Garcia. Is that monstrosity female MMA fighter, that Gabby Garcia? Let's Google it. 1 second, lads. Gabby Garcia. Let's have a look. I bet she looks like a fucking freak, don't she? I think I know who you're talking about, you know. Gabby Garcia. Oh, fuck me, I'm turning that off. That is disgusting. Why put me through that, man? Absolutely disgusting. Yeah, but Gabby beats up Gary Russell. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Yeah, apology, man. Marco Huck, he was a very good cruiserweight. You know, joint most offenses at cruiserweight. And yeah, he went up to heavyweight and pushed a prime Povetkin. I felt he beat Povetkin, apology, to be honest. I felt he beat Povetkin. Yeah, imagine her, the Quags, man. Yeah, exactly. Oh, dear God. Imagine her sitting on your face. Fucking hell. Jesus. Did you see the Tremaine Williams fight? I've only seen like highlights, Nathan. I've not seen it in full, to be honest. From what I read, Leo was on top throughout, kind of thing. But yeah, I need to watch that fight in full. Del, Gabby Garcia or Jane Couch? Fuck me. Oh Christ, I'll go Jane Couch, to be honest. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Fuck me. And not literally, it'll fucking be a trouble to get it hard. But yeah, if I had to pick out a Gabby Garcia or Jane Couch, I'll pick Jane Couch. That's saying something. Gabby Garcia is a hideous fucking cretin made in a lab. But there we go. Jesus Christ. Povetkin literally said Huck stunk really bad. That's why he struggled in the fight. Fucking hell. Gabby Garcia's father tested 365. James Couch or Jane Couch? Which one? Yeah, fuck me. Yeah, it's got to be Jane. It's got to be Jane. Jesus. If Gabby Garcia and you, Del Boy, were the last people on Earth, would you procreate with her? No. The human race is over as we know it. I'd hunt her for fucking food, mate. I'll fucking make a spear. You know, maybe make a fucking bow and arrow. I'd hunt her for fucking food. She'll last me about fucking 6 months. What are you talking about procreating? Get out of here, man. Okay, so Williams started well, but Leo then took over. Okay. Christy Martin versus Gabby Garcia, bare knuckle mud wrestling. Who wins? Oh my days. Oh my days. You got to go big old Gabby. Gabby the fucking freezer. My Elizabeth is turning pro on the Hobson ticket deal, so she is. After then seeing her eat my straight right like a sandwich. Big up to Elizabeth, man. Elizabeth versus Shannon Courtney very soon. Gabby Garcia reminds me of a tyrant monster from Resident Evil. Fucking hell. Gabby Garcia would eat you first, Hellboy. Probably, mate. Probably. Fucking hell. What a fucking ugly cretin, though. Seriously. Who wins, Frampton or Santa Cruz right now? I'll go with, to be honest, I'm going to go Santa Cruz, Jay's Boxing Universe. Do you know what? As much criticism I give Santa Cruz, I was really impressed with his performance against Frampton in that second fight. How he adjusted tactics, kept it long, kept a good work rate, and he outboxed Carl Frampton. That's what happens. He didn't outwork him. He also outboxed him, kept his distance really well. Didn't give Carl Frampton a chance to set his feet. You know, really good performance, but he never built on it. But yeah, I would take Leo Santa Cruz again, to be honest, over Frampton. I would take him again. Interesting third fight, I guess, though. Rubber match. But right now, yeah, it's got to be Leo. It's got to be Leo. Yo, smash the like, by the way, lads. Smash that like. But yeah, Gabby Garcia, man. What a fucking monstrosity. Yeah, Frampton has too much muscle. That dude needs to stop lifting weights. Yeah, I think Carl Frampton now is on the downslide, to be honest. He's not the fighter he once was. Seems slower. His gas tank's not as good as it was. Yeah, the guy's just on the downward slide now. Good fighter back in his day, but yeah, I don't expect him to beat Jamel Herring. I think Jamel Herring is too long, too tall, too awkward, and just too fresh at this stage. I think he outboxes Carl Frampton to a points win. Just outboxes him. Oh dear, yeah. Apology. I think I agree. Frampton is done. I'll be very surprised if he picks up any more elite wins now. I'll be very surprised. Yeah, Frampton definitely declined pretty fast, Jim McDonald. Yeah. After that second Santa Cruz fight, he's just never been the same. Never been the same. But he was an explosive fighter, though. You know, he was kind of one of those quick twitch muscle type of fighters. You know, he really fights in bursts, really explosive bursts. And sometimes those fighters burn out a lot quicker, to be honest. Those sort of fighters burn out a lot quicker. He was a tidy little boxer, Carl Frampton, when he was at his best. He was a good little boxer. He could move pretty well, decent power, decent jab. He was a decent little boxer, no doubt. No doubt. Nathan, Reece Bellotti was poor the other night. I expected Gil to win the easy decision, though. Yeah, Reece Bellotti, I mean, he is what he is, really, isn't he? Just a come forward, domestic level guy. Yeah, not surprised at all. Yeah, I agree, Paul 123. Frampton suited training with Shane McGuigan. Moore hasn't been a good fit. I think I agree. He looked completely washed against Josh Warrington, like he didn't want it as much as Warrington. Warrington, by the way, was hurting him as well in that fight. He hurt Frampton to the body, and I think he buzzed him to the head as well a couple of times. I think Frampton's on the way out. I think we all do, to be honest. Anybody here picking Frampton to beat Herring, really? I don't see it. 22B, you think they'll be looking for Frampton versus Conlon eventually in Ireland? I'd be surprised if those two guys fight, to be honest, 22B. From what I understand, they're pretty good friends. And for whatever reason, these days, friends don't fight. I think that's a bullshit excuse not to fight. I can understand, like, relatives, like brothers or cousins, yeah, they shouldn't fight. But friends? Get the fuck out of here. You should fight. Who cares if it's your friend? You know, it's a sport. You're not related. I'd fight my best friend for a few fucking $1 million. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it. Yeah, Warrington does have crazy work rate. His work rate is extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. But Warrington's a guy, though, who looks after himself. Never see him get fat or look terribly out of shape. Lives for life, man. Lives for life. Really, really fun fighter to watch as well. I like Josh Warrington. Hopefully that fight with Kanzu happens next, because that'll be a barn burner in terms of pure output. That'll be a bit of a war. Neither guy can punch, but there'll be a hell of a lot of punches thrown in that fight, trust me. Hell of a lot. Exactly, Tone. Friends should give each other a payday. Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. I agree. I don't think that friend's excuse is good enough, to be honest. I don't think it's good enough. They should fight. They should fight. If you're that good of friends, you know, then you'll fucking shake hands afterwards and just live on with your lives. It's not gonna ruin your friendship. It is what it is. Yes, sir, John. I'd fight you too. Give me a couple of million. No, give me a couple of grand. I'll fight you. Yeah, I don't rate Conlon either, Padger. Michael Conlon is like he's one of these fighters who turns over from amateurs. He turns over from amateurs, but he still has that amateur style. Doesn't really punch hard. I don't think he's suited to the pro game, to be honest. Yeah. Listen, if Michael Conlon gets a world title, Bob Arum would have done a very good job, because he's not beating any legitimate world-class fighters. I'm telling you that now. Michael Conlon will not defeat an elite world-class fighter. He needs to get a real favourable vacant title. That's what he needs to be a world champion. Not saying he's not a good fighter. He was a great amateur, but you know, being a great amateur, as we know, doesn't mean you're going to be a great pro. Ask Audley Harrison. Conlon is an Irish Tom Stalker. Yep, Tom Stalker's another one. Yeah, the captain of 2012 GB team. Yep, Tom Stalker. Fred Evans as well. Do you guys remember Fred Evans? Olympic silver medalist in 2012. He turned pro a few years later, and he lost to a journeyman. So, yeah. Where is Joe Pigford as well? I think Daryl Williams stopped boxing after getting jobbed versus Zach Parker. No idea about Joe Pigford, Nathan, but from what I've heard, yeah, Daryl Williams just was in a really bad way after that Zach Parker fight where he got robbed. And apparently he doesn't have the best mindset anyway, if you catch my drift, and he's been struggling. That's what I've heard. How true it is, I don't know. But yeah, I think that fight really killed it off for him, to be honest, killed his passion, which is a shame, because Zach Parker is going on to get a world title shot, basically. He's very highly ranked. I think he might be mandatory, something like that. It's a joke. It really is a joke. Daryl Williams, man, he fucking got robbed so badly that night. So badly. Big Dan, my dad's mate, almost beat Harrison on Prize Fighter. Really? Interesting, Big Dan. Who was it? Who was it, by the way? What's his name? What's the fighter's name? What's the fighter's name? Paddy Donovan is more talented than Conlon. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. Yeah. I'd agree, actually, Padger. I'd agree. Whatever happened to Fred Evans? I think after the Olympics, he got in trouble for assault or something like that. And it took him a few years to turn pro. He turned pro, I think, under Cyclone, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. But he turned pro, he had a couple of fights, and then lost to a journeyman. That's the last I've heard of Fred Evans. Let's box wreck him quick. Let's box wreck him. He definitely turned pro, though, and he definitely lost. I remember that much. He lost to Ryan Toms, I think. I'm sure it was Ryan Toms. Yeah, it was. There we go. He lost by TKO as well. So yeah, Fred Evans is 7-1 as a pro. In none of those 7 wins has he got a knockout, and he's been fighting journeyman. So yeah. See, Nathan's hit it on. Yeah, he's hit it on the head here. That's the sort of fight Zach Parker should be in. The likes of Rocky Fielding. Yeah, exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah, Tom Baker, Nathan. Yeah, I remember Tom Baker. He was a Frank Warren fighter, wasn't he, Tom Baker? Light heavyweight, I think he was. I remember him, actually, yeah. Oh, yeah, Parker definitely got injured, Nathan. But still, though, he lost that fight, man. He showed good heart in that fight, but he lost. He definitely lost. Yeah, by the way, Big Dan, now that you're here, actually, whenever you comment on my videos, for some reason they never show. I don't know why that is. I've not been deleting them or anything like that. But for whatever reason, when you comment on my videos, like the actual videos, the comments never show. So I see the notification of your comment. I can see your comment in the notification. But when I click on the video, the comment isn't there. So I'm not sure what YouTube is doing right now, but just know I'm not deleting your comments. For whatever reason, YouTube aren't letting them stay up. I don't know why. It's annoying. Yeah, Armat Patterson. Yeah, I remember when Armat Patterson. He beat Ryan Aston, and he looked really good. He looked really good, and he basically faded out. Didn't really hear much of him since. Paul 123. Evans is from a traveller background. No promoter wanted him because his face didn't fit like the other members of the same GB squad. Interesting. See, I never knew that. Paul. Interesting. Big Dan is shadow banned. Probably, man. More than likely. That's it, Nathan. See, this is why people are here, man. This is why I've got a good fucking group of lads here. I remember that now. Yeah, Patterson got attacked. Yeah, that's it. He was going to fight Liam Williams. Yep. That's it. Yep. Sergio Garcia's fizzling out. Yeah, he's done nothing really since that Cheeseman win. He's had a couple of fights at a lower level. I think he fought Rabchenko, maybe. Someone like that. But yeah, he's not really built on it. Because I think Sergio Garcia looks like a promising fighter. He's certainly a guy who could potentially challenge for a world title. I think he's got that in him, no doubt about it. So, yeah, if I'm a promoter, I'll be looking at someone like Sergio Garcia, try and poach him, try and build him up. Good little fighter, great work rate, kind of unorthodox. Good little fighter, man. Good fighter. Yeah, he got bricked. That's it, Nathan. Yep. I remember now. Yep. Is Rabchenko a lower level than Cheeseman? Yeah, he's probably better than Cheeseman, to be fair. He's probably better than Cheeseman. But Rabchenko is shot these days. Like, that's Rabchenko after he got smacked about by Brooks. So, yeah, there's not much in it, in my opinion, at this stage. Yeah, Patterson looked like a good talent. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Tom Baker, yeah, he used to fight in Box Nation. Yeah, light heavyweight or super middleweight. One of the two. But yeah, he was okay. He's okay, man. Yeah, Arsenio Byfeld's boxing tomorrow night in Belarus. Yeah, Ismail Iliev, he's fighting, who also beat Rabchenko recently. So, decent fight for Arsenio Byfeld. Decent fight. If he wins that fight, hopefully he gets back to the UK and he can be involved in some good domestic fights, you know? Like I say, Arsenio Byfeld versus Anthony Fowler. That'd be a fun fight. Arsenio Byfeld talks shit. Anthony Fowler's a mug. So that'd be a fun build-up. Be a fun fight as well. Why not? Hopefully Byfeld wins. Hopefully he wins and he can get his career back on track. He's basically been, from what I read, Arsenio Byfeld has had like promotional issues, I guess. Hence why he's been out of the ring for so long. Tough fight to go back to, though. Fair play to him. Fair play to him. Iliev KOs Byfeld. I don't think he's going to knock him out. If he wins, it'll be on points, in my opinion. I think it'll be on points. I've seen Iliev before, but I fucking don't remember where. He lost the fight as well. I don't know why I watched it, but I've seen him fight before. Like a straight puncher, kind of technically sound, you know, well schooled, but not like anything special. Nothing special, I would say. Fowler's back on Friday. They'll set up the Cheeseman fight, in my opinion. Yeah, Fowler versus Cheeseman. That's a fun fight. I'd be fucking Team Cheeseman all day long in that fight. I'm not a fan of Fowler. Not at all. Not at all. Be a fun fight, though. You know, two guys with no defense. Be a good fight. Nathan, Fowler might beat Cheeseman as well, but I would root for Cheeseman. Yeah, I agree. Fowler hits a bit hard, to be honest. I think Fowler hits harder than Eggington, to be honest, at 154. So if Fowler catches the same shots, if Fowler lands the same shots Cheeseman did, fuck me, I'm getting all over the gaff. If Fowler lands the same shots that Eggington did, he could definitely hurt Cheeseman. And Cheeseman was hurt against Eggington, especially late on, so Fowler could win that fight. Fowler could definitely win that fight. Domestically, 154 is quite good in the UK. James Metcalf's the guy nobody's talking about, though. James Metcalf, I think he's a good little boxer. He could beat a lot of these Sky guys on his day. He's a good fighter, in my opinion. Does anybody like Fowler? I don't think so. Barry Hearn's foreskin is nailed to a tree on Epstein's Island. Fuck's sake. Oh, that's it, Unrivaled. Patrick Day. It was Patrick Day. God rest his soul. Yeah, Iliev versus Patrick Day. Yep. Yeah, God rest his soul, man. Fowler's the most unliked fighter in the UK. He's definitely up there, man. Like on Twitter, like the guy gets nothing but abuse, man. It's funny as hell. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Fowler. He can be involved in some fun fights, but I just think the guy's a fucking idiot. The guy's a waste, man. He's a dickhead. I like Conway. He can beat them all. Conway's decent, but I need to see more. I felt he lost to Cheeseman, to be honest, MB. I felt he lost to Cheeseman. Yo, big up to Die Hard Casuals, man. Shout out to you. Shout out. The Troll Network. Fowler's a drug dealer. Listen, he's if he's selling some good shit, then he's all right. He's all right. Kozabutsky versus Sokolovsky. Good fight, to be honest. Yep. The heavyweight prospect, Kozabutsky. And Sokolovsky's a good journeyman, yeah. Might go a few rounds. Might be some fun moments. Fowler uses CBD oil as lube to get ploughed by the Matchroom cult. Fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Yeah, nobody likes Anthony Fowler, do they? Nobody likes that guy. Bless him. Anthony Fowler. Fucking hell. Conway versus Kieran Smith could be a good fight. Or Metcalf versus Smith, yeah. Good fights. All good fights. There's some good fights to make at 154 domestically. And even at world level, I think 154 is quite good, to be honest. We've got that Charlo-Rosario fight coming up, which I'm really looking forward to. I think my boy Charlo gets that done. I really do. I think Charlo beats him. I think Jermell Charlo, he'll beat Rosario in a boxing match and he'll knock him out in a street fight. I think he wins either way. I really do. I'm convinced Jermell Charlo wins. It'll be competitive, don't get me wrong, but in my heart, though, I just feel Jermell Charlo is going to win that fight. His brother, man, he's got the harder fight, in my opinion, in terms of styles. Unrivaled, he likes Fowler. Jesus Christ, Unrivaled. I know you've got a questionable taste, but fuck me, you like Fowler? Jesus Christ. Fowler's the king of warm-ups. Yes, sir. He is indeed. Look at the guys he's fighting right now. Guys with no power. Adam Harper, no knockouts in, 9 fights? Fucking Harry Scarf, whatever his name was, 1 knockout in 9 fights. None of these guys can punch. And there's a reason for that, man. He got put on his ass against Fitzgerald, and his confidence is shot. That's what it is, man. He's fighting fucking feather duster men. That's what he's doing. There we go, Unrivaled. Great striker back in his day. One of the Spice Boys, so he was. Yes, sir. That's it. Yeah, Robbie was okay, to be fair. Even Robbie Fowler doesn't like Anthony Fowler. That's how much of a cunt Anthony Fowler is. Whenever you ever seen Robbie Fowler watch this guy fight, he doesn't, because he's a fucking cunt. That's the truth. Simple as that. Yeah, Metcalf is pretty good, Nathan. I think Metcalf's pretty decent. Oh, shit. Fucking hell. Fowler is a product of a hysterical fan base. Now he's paying the price. Yep. Yeah, Robbie was a great finisher, Robbie Fowler. He's a great finisher. Fowler looks like a smarmy prick. 22B, Heyman's putting pressure on a few of his top fighters. Charlo Brothers and Spence all in hard fights. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan, Big Dan, of Fowler. Not the biggest fan. I'll be honest, 22B. A lot of people were not feeling that Errol Spence, Danny Garcia fight. I like it personally. I mean, is it the fight we really want right now? No, but it's a good fight. It's a decent fight. I think Danny Garcia is going to give Errol some hard moments here and there. There's going to be some good exchanges. Both guys can hit a bit. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun fight. He's a top 10 welterweight. I think he's the WBC mandatory. 2-weight world champion. It's not a bad opponent when you look at it. It's not a bad opponent. I heard Robbie slapped up Anthony in sparring. Robbie's probably got better footwork, you know. Robbie's probably got better footwork. Anthony Fowler's feet are terrible. Awful. Awful. Fuck me. Is he a gatekeeper? Do you mean Danny Garcia, diehard? I don't think Danny Garcia is a gatekeeper just yet. I don't think he's a gatekeeper. In a couple of more losses, yeah, cool. But right now, I still see him as like a contender kind of thing. He's a contender in my eyes. I think he's a good fighter, Danny Garcia. Not perfect. He's got flaws, of course, but he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up, you know, because I've got an early start tomorrow. This is just really a quick one, about an hour long. So, yeah, man, thank you guys for dropping by. Smash the like, by the way, on the way out. Be much appreciated. And by the way, we'll leave this comment as comment of the night, just to let you guys know the level of competition Anthony Fowler is fighting right now. Fowler is fighting Adam Harper, who had a brain injury last year. That's all you need to know. Anyway, lads, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Peace.